Government announces 5-hour curfew relaxation tomorrow in Valley District to allow public access to essential supplies, excluding gatherings and protests without prior approval. Manipur CM leads crucial meeting with ruling MLAs, resolves to launch mass operations against Kuki militants within 7 days following Jiribam killings and pressed to reconsider extension of ISCOM. Despite NPP withdrawing support, 4 NPP MLAs attend ruling MLAs meeting in while 9 ruling MLAs absent, raising concerns over political instability. Kokomi demands amendment to ruling MLAs resolutions, threatens to lock down all central and state offices in Manipur within 24 hours over failure to act against Kuki militants. And Meitei Alliance urges United Nations to intervene over human rights violations in Manipur following brutal killings of women and children in Jiribam. Hello and welcome. You're watching ISCOM Primetime English News. This is Nancy giving you the news in details. In light of the improved law and order situation in several districts, authorities have announced a 5-hour relaxation of curfew in Valley districts by the respective district magistrates to allow residents to purchase essential items, including medicines and food. The restrictions on movement will be lifted on tomorrow from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m., enabling the public to access necessary supplies. The relaxations, however, excluded activities such as gatherings, sit-in protest, or rallies unless prior approval is obtained from the competent authority. After the relaxation period, the curfew will resume with exemptions for personnel involved in essential services such as healthcare, electricity, public distribution, telecommunications, banking, and media. Those traveling to and from the airport, including contractors and workers with valid airport entry permits, will also be allowed to move freely. In a significant meeting of all the ruling MLAs of Manipur chaired by the Chief Minister N. Biren Singh at his secretariat last night, as many as 26 legislatures present in the meeting has adopted 8 resolutions aimed at addressing the escalating violence and unrest in the state. The meeting, which came in the wake of the recent killings in Jiribam, highlighted the government's resolve to take decisive actions to restore peace and ensure justice. One of the primary resolutions involved launching mass operations against the Kuki militants who were allegedly responsible for the brutal killings of 6 women and children in Jiribam. The meeting set a deadline of 7 days for these operations to begin. Additionally, the resolution reaffirmed the state's appeal to the central government to review the impositions of the ISCOM in Manipur. In a move to expedite justice, the meeting resolved that the cases related to the killing of the 6 Meitei women and children in Jiribam, the death of a Mar woman who was burnt alive in Jiribam in November, and the killing of a Meitei woman farmer in Saiton, Bisnupur district, would be immediately transferred to the NIA. The meeting also decided to declare the Kuki militants responsible for the killings in Jiribam as unlawful organizations within 7 days, a measure that aims to increase pressure on those involved in the violence. The legislators further resolved that should the outlined actions not to be implemented within the specific time frame, they would consult with the people of Manipur and decide on further steps, which could include a more significant political response. Another key resolutions condemned the attacks on ministers and MLAs who were reportedly humiliated by assailants who burned and looted their properties. The legislators expressed outrage over these violent acts, describing them as barbaric. It was resolved that legal actions would be pursued against the perpetrators based on findings from a high-powered committee that has been tasked with investigating the incidents. Despite the NPP officially withdrawing its support from the N. Biren-led BJP government in Manipur, 4 of the party's 7 MLAs attended the meeting conveyed by Chief Minister N. Biren last night, highlighting the complex political dynamics in the state. Notably, many of the ruling MLAs were also absent during the meeting, which shows the participants of only 26 legislators. Among the NPP representatives present were Oinam AC MLA Irengbam Nalini Devi, Moirang AC MLA Thongam Santi Singh, Tamenglong AC MLA Janghemlung Panmai, and Kakching AC MLA M. Rameswar. Their attendance is noteworthy given the NPP's national president, Kornad Sangma, had announced the party's decision to cease supporting the Biren-led BJP government, citing a failure of governance in the state. A total of 11 MLAs were absent without providing any specific reasons, despite having been notified about the meeting. Another 7 MLAs took leave, further diminishing the attendance. The absentee legislators include key members of the NDA coalitions, such as Speaker T. Satyabrata and several prominent MLAs, including Minister Y. Kemchan, Tongbram Robindro, Usam Deban, Y. Radheshyam, T.H. Radheshyam, Asab Udain, K.H. Raghumani, and K.H. Joykisan. The absence of several legislators, especially those from within the NDA, raises questions about the unity of the ruling coalitions and adds to the growing political instability in Manipur. Meanwhile, the Coordinating Committee on Manipur Integrity, COCOMI, has expressed strong dissatisfaction with the resolutions passed by the NDA legislators during their meeting chaired by Chief Minister N. Biren Singh. During a sit-in protest at Kwairaman Bazaar in Imphal last night, COCOMI spokesperson Khuraizam Athauba criticized the decisions made by the legislators, stating that they were unacceptable to the people of Manipur. Athauba, speaking to the media, issued another 24-hour ultimatum to the state government, demanding that the resolutions be amended in the interest of the public. He specifically objected to the government's failure to declare the Kuki militants responsible for the ongoing violence as unlawful organizations, as well as the lack of a clear military crackdown on the militants. In his statement, Athauba emphasized that the people of Manipur would not accept the government's current approach. He warned that COCOMI would escalate its protest if the government did not act on their demands within the next 24 hours. As part of their planned actions, Athauba announced that COCOMI would initiate shutdown strike of all central and state offices in Manipur should the government fail to take actions on their demands.
And as per the resolutions that we have received, the people of Manipur is not satisfied with the resolutions taken. First of all, in the number 3 resolutions, it is mentioned that the resolution, they have resolved to start mass operations against the Kuki militants responsible for the killing of 6 innocent women and children in Jiribam within 7 days. But our demand was not just with the Kuki militants responsible for a particular crime. We have been telling that the crime has not just happened in Jiribam, it has happened in several other places of Manipur since the 3rd of May 2023. Therefore, the people of Manipur has demanded the state government and the legislators to fix responsibilities to the entire SU group, that is KNO and UPF all together, and operation has to be carried out against all those groups in suspension of operation with the government of India. So their resolution is not up to the satisfaction of the people. Another resolution is they are demanding for a declaration of Kuki militants for killing 6 innocent women and children as unlawful organization. As we have learned that the government of Manipur has already taken withdrawal or abrogation of SU groups previously in their cabinet decision.
The state government has announced a conditional lifting of the internet suspensions on broadband services, ILL and FTTH, in certain districts following a review of the ongoing situation. The suspension, which had been in effect since November 16th for affected districts including Imphal West, Imphal East and others, was extended to address law and order concerns. However, the government has now decided to eased restrictions on broadband connections under strict conditions to mitigate disruptions to essential services. The lifted restrictions come with several safeguards, including the requirement for static IP connections, the banning of Wi-Fi or hotspots used, and the blocking of social media and VPNs at the local level. Subscribers must also monitor and ensure compliance with these terms. Violators will face legal actions, and internet services providers must obtain an undertaking from subscribers before providing connections. Mobile internet services, however, remain suspended due to concerns about the spread of misinformation and public safety. The government has stressed that the suspension is necessary to maintain order and prevent violence. The Meitei Alliance has issued an urgent memorandum to the United Nations calling for immediate action to address the ongoing human rights violations in Manipur. The appeal follows a series of horrific attacks by suspected Kuki militants on the Meitei community, including the abductions and brutal murder of 6 individuals, including women and children, in Jiribam on November 11th. The victims were found in a state of extreme mutilations with evidence of sexual violence and torture. The memorandum highlights the failure of the Indian government to protect civilians despite the presence of over 70,000 Central Security Forces in the region. The Meitei Alliance has called on the UN to conduct an independent investigation into the atrocities, urged the Indian government to take immediate actions and appoint a special rapporteur to monitor the situation. The group also demands urgent humanitarian assistance for displaced families, particularly women and children affected by the violence. Volunteers from several prominent organizations staged a rally in Imphal today demanding justice for the victims of violence and the repeal of the Armed Forces Special Power Act 1958. The rally, organized by the All Manipur United Club Organization, AMUCO, Poirei Leimarol Maira Paibi Apunba Manipur, All Manipur Women Voluntary Association and Manipuri Students Federations began at Kwakatel and proceeded towards Kesampat Crossing. The protesters carried placards and chanted slogans including "Brutal murderers should be given punishment," "Repeal repressive and draconian law of SPA 1958, of SPA in a colonial law and it should be obliterated," "Stops India's divide and rule policy," and "Long live Manipur." The demonstrators expressed their outrage over the ongoing violence in the state and called for a complete revocation of AFSPA, which they argue is a tool of oppressions and a legacy of colonial rule. As the rally reached Kesampat Crossing, security forces intervened, preventing the protesters from advancing further. Faced with the roadblock, the rallying crowd was forced to turn back and retrace their steps along the same route. A candlelight vigil and torch rally were organized tonight at Sonai Kalibari, Kasar in Assam by the Coordination Committee on Crisis of Meitei, Manipuri, in response to the alleged killing of 6 women and children who were reportedly abducted by Kuki militants. The protest drew around 700 participants who gathered to demand justice for the victims and expressed their opposition to the violence. The rally participants called for immediate actions against the alleged Kuki militants and voiced their demands for peace in Manipur. Following the torch rally, the candlelight vigil was held at Kali Mandir in Sonai, where attendees paid their respects to the victims and further condemned the brutality. Advisor to the Coordination Committee, Dr. K.N. Chan, spoke at the event expressing strong condemnation of the killings. He called for swift justice for the victims and emphasized the need for accountability and peace in the region. A candlelight vigil was also held tonight at the Nomaibung Multipurpose Community Hall, organized by Nomaibung Women's Development Merapaibi Association and Eastern Students Club. The protest condemned the recent killings of 6 women and children by Kuki militants in Jiribam and denounced the government's failure to resolve the ongoing crisis, which has lasted nearly 2 years. Demonstrators also called for the revocations of the recent extensions of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act in 6 districts, arguing that it has only worsened the situation. The event concluded with a call for peace, justice, and urgent government action. The Kokomi Jiribam branch has strongly condemned the brutal rape and murder of 6 women and children in Jiribam, allegedly by suspected Kuki militants. During a press conference held at the office, Kokomi Jiribam spokesperson Y. Ibomcha expressed outrage over the attack, demanding immediate actions against the militants involved. He criticized the government for its inactions and warned of further agitation if the government proceeded with lifting the Armed Forces Special Powers Act in the 6 police stations jurisdiction, including Jiribam. Ibomcha also called for the abrogation of the suspension of operations agreement with Kuki militants, asserting that it had failed to prevent violence. The spokesperson emphasized that the Jiribam branch would fully support any actions taken by Kokomi headquarters and urged the public to back the proposed shutdown of government offices. This protest, according to Ibomsa, would be initiated if the government fails to take decisive action against the perpetrators and ensure justice.
Tamthoida Borogagi, Kudong Tiba Toto Amada, subdivision ki Jorogator, Tamtiva, Mio, any made Haduna Hakiba, Amadi, Mio, Amadi, Nupi, Angang, Yauna, Nupiter, Padana, Tamchina, Mio Begi, Minuchi, Yaudana, Rape, Toduna, Amadi, Piki, Angang Simbu, Power, Mio Begi, Minuchi, Kangana, Atok Kiba, Asiakoi, Kukin, Zonarko. Terrorism way koina akan momong da koi ko mina condemn tawi aduga anisu point na koina thamling sine haiba mihar asida generally ba culprit sing ase and the government of India amadi on Manipur sarkar na yengduna leriba sikari gino koi ba athu matamda adim miyam khangna akan mama sairak view have se koi ko mi gi anisu point ni aduga ahum so point na koina thamling sine asigumba sairak asida Jiribam Yauna Manipur PS police station Karada Armed Forces Special Power Act Aspa Thamdilibasi Kodakta Loktonaba Akoi Kokomi Maikedi Jiribam Akoi Akamong the Koina Condemn Tawi among the Kokomian Chansin Jagani Aduga Marisu the Koina hiding is now Government of India Amadi Manipur Sarkargi Su Taunariba terroristing Kodakta Su Tiki Moshi Loktokadavani I would emotion unlawful terrorists and Loktokadavani Makosi Rio Bigi Minusi Chendraba I believe you begin Hinsaki Tabak Toraba, you Sugi ground later. I have Su Partini, I don't know, Miam Kanga, Roman India, Sakana was a shoe ground, they give us a Susilo Toko. Aduga Mangasu, Kokomina Tamderiva Kanodi, a quick Kokomiki Maya Lucian, the Laura Kiva, what if Kudimak, a Koziribam, Kokomiziri, Branson, Sagoli, Aduga, Sokopusita, Equity. Manipur essential commodities amadi ahel aduga mahilo something the thaduk sagani aduga except administration blocks in anamana kana voting jagani asna aduna maram oraga koi jiribam da leriba prajapuna mosu ko mi jiribam ki branch tawriba khongjang asna su saruk yabiu haina ko mai ge de koi.
A torch rally was organized by the All Kaibul United Clubs organization, Visnupur District and Amuko yesterday night to protest the recent extension of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act in 6 police station jurisdictions of Manipur. The rally, which began at Chandapur and concluded at Sangram, was supported by various clubs and Maira Paibi groups. Participants marched through the streets, raising their voices against the government's decision to extend AFSPA, which they believe exacerbates the region's instability and human rights violations. The demonstrators chanted slogans calling for the immediate revocations of the law, which they view as tool of operations. The rally emphasized the collective demand of the people for peace, justice, and the protection of their rights. The protesters also expressed their growing concerns over the ongoing security situation in the state and urged the government to reconsider the impositions of AFSPA.
Manipura, Dakhalian law Thamjinba. Manipura, Dakhalian law Thamjinba. Tamthira Bhagat Singh Khan Nasera. Tamthira Bhagat Singh Khan Nasera.
Another torch rally was held last night from Kairao Litan Makong to Irilbung Thongkong to condemn the recent abduction and killing of 6 women and children by suspected Kuki militants in Jiribam. The rally was organized by All Kairao Macting Club Coordinating Committee, with participants shouting slogans against the killings and extensions of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act in Manipur. The protesters also expressed their frustration with the ongoing crisis in the state, which has been in turmoil for the last 18 months. Speaking to the media, the General Secretary of the committee, G.R. Rahman, condemned the brutal killings of innocent women and children amidst the ongoing crisis. He expressed deep frustration over the failure of both the state and central governments to bring an end to the prolonged conflict. Rahman also criticized the extension of OPSPA in 6 police stations' jurisdiction, calling it an unfortunate decision given the current situation in the state.
Central government and the state government na karigumam da usintasana dabam di khansana dabagi mawang da lairiba sibu aikoina yaning daba phongdok chari atuba matam da maralai jadraba ichal sing harpada chenariba uki khulai paiba sing asibu Manipur government na chairak pibiu amadi makhoi gi mathakta akanba chairak pibiu haina ningsing phongdok chari amadi ngasi Manipur tangdu laitana laijaram laba mafam kaya marumda Armed Forces Special Power Act thamjanduna Manipur naha kaya bu tiamsing na nangai silak liba asibu Macting Coordinating Committee Makaitagi Yaningdaba Phongdokchari.
Search operations and area dominations were carried out by security forces in vulnerable areas of both hill and valley districts, including in the region between Egizang and Loiching in Kangpokpi district. During the operation, security forces successfully destroyed 5 bunkers, 2 barracks and 1 washroom used by militants. In addition, various items were recovered from the area, including an empty INSAS case, a 12-bore empty case, and several 7.62 SLR empty cases. Other recovered items include a pull-through, a solar plate with a converter, 28 blankets, 8 mosquito nets, a wooden coat, a pair of jungle shoes, 6 combat t-shirts, and a range of miscellaneous items, including grocery and kitchen supplies. The operations was part of ongoing efforts to secure vulnerable areas and disrupt militants' activities in the region. Security forces continue to intensify their operations in an effort to maintain law and order in the area. In a swift and coordinated response, Assam Rifles successfully saved the lives of 130 children, including 22 boys and 108 girls, who were affected by a severe food poisoning outbreak at Eklavya School in Moreh, Technopal district. Upon being alerted by Primary Health Center in Moreh, the Assam Rifles medical team immediately deployed to the site, bringing with them essential medicines and medical supplies. Under the guidance of the Assam Rifles medical officer and in coordination with the Technopal chief medical officer, the team worked tirelessly alongside PAC staff to stabilize the affected children. Personnel from the Moreh Battalion of Assam Rifles ensured smooth coordination and provided crucial care. Thanks to the timely interventions and joint efforts of Assam Rifles and medical authorities, all 130 children were stabilized, turning what could have been a devastating tragedy into a remarkable success story. Supporters of Kontausam Assembly constituency, MLA and Minister Dr. Sapam Ranjan have strongly opposed his attempt to resign, which was discussed during a meeting of the BJP Kontausam Mandal Morcha and advisor held today. According to a release issued by the BJP Kontausam Mandal President H. Lal Kanhai Sarma, a letter has been submitted to Dr. Ranjan expressing their disagreement with the proposed resignation. The supporters conveyed that it was not the right time for the MLA to resign, emphasizing that the situations in Manipur require careful consideration of the next steps to restore normalcy. They argued that the decision should not be made hastily and that it was ultimately up to the people of Kontosem AC to decide on the matter. Local residents of Wangkem AC have also expressed strong opposition to the proposed resignation of 5 opposition Congress MLAs, including K. Megachandra, in the wake of the ongoing violence in Manipur. During a public meeting held at the Yaribok Bisnunaha Mayai Lekai Community Hall, representatives from various localities under the jurisdiction of Wangkem AC conveyed their concerns, stating that the timing for resignation was inappropriate given the current crisis. The attendees acknowledged the crucial role played by the opposition party both on the ground and in the Legislative Assembly during the ongoing violence that has persisted for nearly 2 years. The meeting emphasized that it was not the opposition but the legislators in the ruling government, including the ministers, who should consider stepping down for failing to protect the lives and property of the people of Manipur. The local residents voiced their belief that the government's inability to safeguard the citizens amidst a prolonged conflict had severely undermined public trust, and they called for accountability from the ruling party rather than the opposition. President of All India Congress Committee and leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, has written to the President of India urging immediate intervention to restore peace and normalcy in Manipur. In his letter, Kharge highlighted the ongoing turmoil in the state for the past 18 months, which has claimed over 300 lives, displaced nearly 1 lakh of people, and caused severe economic distress. He criticized both the union and state governments for their failure to address the crisis, citing the lack of security, the closure of business, and the rising mental health toll on the population. Kharge expressed that the people of Manipur have lost confidence in both the state and central leadership, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's refusal to visit the state, aiding to their sense of abandonment. He called on the President to uphold constitutional duties and ensure the protection of lives and properties in Manipur. The statue of late Akoizam Jugindro, the founder chairman of Salaicha Kanba Lupt SKL, was unveiled today at his burial site at Salai Eco-Tourism Park in Ukhongsang Mamang Ching, Tawal District. Akoizam Jugindro, also known as Salaicha Kokngam, was remembered for his significant contributions to the community and the integrity of Manipur. In addition to the unveiling of the statue, the first volume of the book titled Sidayai Nadayai Collection, based on the writings of the late Jugindro, was also released during the ceremony. The event was attended by a number of distinguished individuals, including SKL Chairman L. Gopal, Federation of Haumi Presidents Sapamcha Jadumani, Senior Citizens Maibam Nobo, UFO General Secretary Yumlembam Mairaba, and SKL Advisor Sapam Semjai, who serve as Presidium members. As part of the ceremony, a guard of honor was presented by the members of Salaicha Youth League, followed by floral tribute and 2-minute silence to pay respect to the late leaders. Federations of Haumi President Sapamcha Jadumani, in his address, recalled the immense efforts of Akoizam Jugindro in working towards the integrity of Manipur, highlighting his commitment to the coast and his latest legacy. Chief Minister N. Biren Singh took to X to extend warm birthday greetings to Union Minister Kiren Rijiju. In his post, Chief Minister praised Rijiju's unwavering commitment to the development of the nation, especially the Northeast region. Biren Singh highlighted the minister's efforts towards the upliftment of every region, noting that his leadership has been truly inspiring. While wishing him a wonderful year ahead, the Chief Minister expressed hope that Rijiju's vision and patience will continue to guide the nation's progress, bringing further success and happiness in the year to come. The 124th birth anniversary of Sintapurel R.K. Sanahal was celebrated today at the Thang Ta Sangland in Yumnam Huidrom, Imphal West, Manipur. The event witnessed the presence of several personalities, including State Kala Academy awardee and President of Langol Lukoi Thangta Sindamsang Laishram Ibomsa Kuman, who attended as a chief guest, along with President of Huyel Langlond Thangta Association, Manipur, Huidrom Prem Kumar Singh, and Director of Jawaharlal Nehru Manipur Dance Academy, Pukrambam Bilas Singh, Secretary of Huyent Lanjang Thangta Cultural Association, Laishram Lasamon Singh, and retired senior graduate teacher, Yumnam Iboyaima Singh, who were honored as the guest of honor. The celebration was jointly organized by Thangta Mahikol, Yumnam Huidrom, and the Huyel Langlon Thangta Association, Manipur. During the event, a large number of Thangta gurus, instructors, and players from various Thangta institutions in Manipur participated in the celebration. As a tribute to R.K. Sanahal's contributions to the promotion of Thangta martial arts, they paid floral tributes honoring his dedication and significant role in preserving and advancing the traditional martial art form of the region. Now the headlines once again. Government announces 5-hour curfew relaxation tomorrow in valley districts to allow public access to essential supplies, excluding gatherings and protests without prior approval. Manipur CM leads crucial meeting with ruling MLAs, resolves to launch mass operations against Kuki militants within 7 days following Jiribam killings, and press to reconsider extensions of APSPA. Despite NPP withdrawing support, 4 NPP MLAs attend ruling MLAs meeting in while 9 ruling MLAs absent, raising concerns over political instability. Kokomi demands amendment to ruling MLA's resolutions, threatens to lock down all central and state offices in Manipur within 24 hours over failure to act against Kuki militants. And Meitei Alliance urges United Nations to intervene over human rights violations in Manipur following brutal killings of women and children in Jiribam. Now that's all for today's bulletin. Thank you for watching ISCOM Primetime English News. Have a good night.